The courtroom is silent. Every eye is fixed on Kody Brown as the judge leans forward, his gavel frozen midair. The air feels like it might shatter. Across the room, Christine's eyes are glassy, her hand trembling on the table. This isn't just about love anymore. It's about betrayal, money, and truth. When the secrets of a family built on faith start unraveling under oath, everyone bleeds. And what happens next? No one saw coming. The morning sun creeps through the courthouse windows, cold and pale, touching every nervous face waiting in the gallery. Cameras are banned, but you can feel the invisible weight of 1,000 viewers who wish they could see this. This isn't a tabloid headline anymore. It's real. The sister wives family, once held up as a portrait of spiritual unity, is now a storm of accusations, legal filings, and heartbreak. Kody sits stiffly at the defendant's table, his jaw clenched. He's wearing a dark gray suit that doesn't quite fit him. Too tight, like he's trapped inside his own image. Robin, his last remaining wife, sits behind him, her hands folded, eyes red from a night of crying. Christine is across the aisle, her lawyer whispering something, but her expression is made of stone. Janelle and Mary sit apart from everyone, silent, detached, as if watching the ghost of their own lives being tried. The judge adjusts his glasses. This court is now in session. Case number 3247B, Brown versus Brown. The murmurs fade instantly. Christine takes a deep breath. Her voice doesn't tremble. Your Honor, I am here today not for revenge, but for truth. For years, we lived under a man who made promises of equality and love. Promises that turned into control, fear, and lies. Her words cut through the air like a blade. Kody doesn't move. His lawyer, Mr. Sanderson, clears his throat and leans toward the judge. We object to the emotional framing, Your Honor. My client is not on trial for his character, but for financial mismanagement and fraudulent conduct within a shared family trust. Christine's eyes narrow. The truth is emotional, sir. Especially when you've been living a lie, the audience can't breathe. The judge sighs. Continue, Mrs. Brown. Christine begins her story. It starts years ago, back in Flagstaff, when everything looked perfect on television. Smiling family dinners, children laughing, the promise that polygamy was a bond of faith and freedom. But behind the cameras, Kody had started building walls. Not physical ones, but emotional fortresses that kept each wife in her own lonely prison. She describes the first red flag. A missing $80,000 from the family trust. Kody brushed it off as a business investment, but no one ever saw where it went. Months later, property titles began shifting. Homes that were once jointly owned suddenly listed only one name, Kody Brown. Her lawyer clicks a remote and a slide appears on the courtroom screen. Copies of deeds, signatures, bank statements. Every dollar, Christine says, her voice tightening, was built on our faith, our work, our children's futures. And he used it to control us. Kody suddenly slams his hand on the table. That's not true. His voice booms across the room. The judge immediately bangs the gavel. Mr. Brown, control yourself. But something in Kody's eyes is wild, a mix of guilt and fury. You're twisting everything, Christine. You wanted out. You left me and the family, and now you're trying to destroy me in court because you couldn't handle the truth. Christine doesn't flinch. The truth, Kody, is that you never loved us equally. You loved control. The silence that follows is deafening. Even the air feels heavy. Kody sinks back in his chair, muttering something under his breath. Robin reaches out, touches his shoulder, but he pulls away. Her hand lingers in the air, trembling, before she hides it under the table. The lawyer begins cross-examination. Mrs. Brown, you claim financial fraud, but weren't you a consenting adult in all financial decisions? Christine's lips curve into a sad smile. Yes, I consented to trust, and he used that to break us. Flashbacks flood the narration. Kody promising the wives that every property would be shared, every child equally cared for. But as years passed, the shared dream became his personal empire. Christine remembers signing documents late at night, tired, overworked, trusting his words. She remembers Janelle asking questions, Robin defending Kody, and Mary quietly withdrawing from everything. The scene shifts to the present. The courtroom grows tense as Christine's lawyer calls the first witness, Janelle Brown. She walks to the stand, composed but exhausted. "Do you swear to tell the truth?" "I do." "Mrs. Brown, can you tell us about the trust and your role in it?" Janelle nods. "We all contributed. Time, money, effort. We believed we were building something sacred. But when I checked the documents, my name was gone." A gasp ripples through the room. Christine closes her eyes. Mary looks away. Robin covers her face. Kody leans forward, voice low but dangerous. "You're all just bitter. You'd still have your names on everything if you hadn't abandoned the family." The judge warns him again, but the moment has already cracked open something raw. Christine wipes a tear, but keeps her voice steady. "We didn't abandon the family, Kody. We escaped. The tension builds as her lawyer presents more evidence. Unaccounted funds, sudden withdrawals, Kody's name on properties bought after each wife left. The courtroom feels like it's vibrating. Kody's lawyer tries to regain control. "This is a civil case, not a therapy session." Christine sits down, but her gaze never leaves Kody. There's no hate in her eyes, just the exhaustion of someone who's finally done pretending. Outside, storm clouds roll in over Flagstaff. The courthouse windows darken, and thunder rumbles in the distance, a storm fitting for what's brewing inside. Kody looks up at the judge. "I want to testify. I need to tell my side." His lawyer panics. Kody, no, not yet." Kody walks to the stand, straightens his tie, and looks at Christine. His voice is calm, too calm. "You think I'm the villain. But you don't know what I've sacrificed for this family. You don't know what I've done to protect us all." A hush falls over the courtroom. Robin looks terrified. Christine frowns, confused. "What do you mean by that, Mr. Brown?" the judge asks. Kody pauses. His lips twitch into a bitter smile. "You'll see, Your Honor. You'll all see." The air in the courtroom feels different now, heavier. Kody's words hang like smoke after a fire. "You'll see." Even the judge senses something shifting. The calm before a storm that everyone knows is about to break. Christine's fingers tighten on the edge of the table. Robin looks pale, as if she already knows what he's about to say. Kody clears his throat, eyes flicking between his wives, or rather, his former wives. "For years, everyone thought I was the one in control," he begins, his voice slow and deliberate. "The truth is, I was holding together a family that was already breaking." He looks toward Christine. "You talk about lies and betrayal. But do you remember the night in Flagstaff? When you begged me to keep the cameras off? When you said there were things you didn't want the world to know?" A shiver moves through the courtroom. Christine doesn't speak. The judge leans forward. "Mr. Brown, I suggest you stay on topic." "Oh, I am," Kody replies, almost smiling. "Because this is about money, right? About who owns what. But the money didn't disappear, Your Honor. It was used. For protection, Christine finally breaks her silence. "Protection from what, Kody?" Kody's gaze hardens. "From you." The crowd murmurs. The judge bangs the gavel for order. Kody continues, his words sharper now. "You think you're the victim. But you've been meeting with producers, making deals behind our backs, planning to expose us before you left. You wanted the world to see me fall. And when the family accounts started draining, it wasn't me moving the money. It was you trying to protect yourself." Christine's lawyer stands instantly. "Objection. There's no evidence." "Overruled," the judge says quietly. "Let's hear him." Christine's voice cracks, not from fear but anger. "That's not true. You twisted everything, even our faith, into something we couldn't recognize. I tried to protect my children, not destroy you." Kody smirks. "Then why did I find contracts from a network under your name 2 weeks before you filed the first complaint?" The courtroom goes still. Janelle and Mary exchange glances, uncertain. Robin presses her hand to her mouth. Christine hesitates, just a moment too long. Her lawyer whispers, "Stay calm," but she can't. "I met with producers because I had to. Because you kept everything locked down. The money, the decisions, our lives. I needed a way to survive when you finally cut me off. Kody shakes his head slowly. You weren't surviving, Christine. You were preparing for war, the judge interrupts, sensing the escalation. Enough. This is not a TV stage. Mr. Brown, do you have any factual evidence to support these claims? Kody opens a folder on the stand. A folder no one has seen before. Right here. Inside are printed emails, contracts, and bank transfers. Christine's lawyer demands to see them, but Kody keeps talking. These are messages between Christine and a media representative. They discuss timing, narrative control, and compensation. Months before she filed this case, Christine slams her hand down. Those were legal consultations. You took them out of context. The judge signals for the bailiff to take the documents to evidence. As the papers change hands, Christine's composure finally cracks. Tears well up in her eyes. Mary looks at her, whispering, Christine. Is it true? Christine whispers back. Not like he's saying. The tension twists the air. Kody sits down again, the ghost of a smile still haunting his face. I've been called controlling, selfish, manipulative. Maybe I am, but I didn't lie about where the money went. Robin speaks softly for the first time, almost pleading. Kody, please. Stop. This isn't helping anyone, he ignores her. No, Robin. It's time they know everything. About the land, about the trust, about the documents that disappeared after Christine left. Christine's lawyer rises. Your Honor, the defense is fabricating a counter-narrative to avoid accountability. The evidence we presented clearly shows missing funds before Mrs. Brown separated. The judge raises his hand. Both sides will submit all evidence for audit. Until then, no more public accusations. But the damage is done. As court adjourns for the day, Christine rushes out before anyone can speak to her. Cameras and reporters wait outside despite the restrictions, their questions echoing down the courthouse steps. Kody exits minutes later, stone-faced. Robin trails behind him, eyes red, whispering his name, but he doesn't turn around. Christine walks to her car, shaking, tears streaking her face. He's lying, she mutters. He's turning everything upside down. Her lawyer catches up, placing a hand on her shoulder. Christine, we'll prove the fraud. But if those emails are genuine, we need to explain them fast. She nods weakly. He'll twist everything until there's nothing left. Night falls. The courthouse lights flicker off, leaving the parking lot bathed in the orange glow of street lamps. Inside his car, Kody stares at his reflection in the rearview mirror. For the first time, his confidence fades. Beneath the anger, there's fear. A secret he's desperate to keep buried. He takes out his phone, scrolls through messages, and opens one marked private. Do not contact again. It's from a name Christine doesn't know. A man who once managed their real estate investments. The message reads, They're asking questions. You told me to hide the second account. What do I do? Kody's hand tightens around the phone. His jaw locks. Not now, he mutters, deleting it. The screen goes black, his reflection disappearing with it. Back at home, Christine sits with Janelle and Mary. The air between them is thick with unease. Mary speaks first. Christine, if there's something you haven't told the court, now's the time. We can't go into the next hearing blind, Christine exhales. There is something. Something I found after I left. Janelle leans in. What is it? Christine opens a worn leather folder from her bag. Inside are copies of checks written to names she doesn't recognize, all signed by Kody. These payments go back years, before we even moved to Flagstaff. He said they were church donations, but look at the addresses. Janelle scans one of the checks. Her face drains of color. These aren't church accounts. They're shell companies. The next morning, Christine's lawyer files new motions. The case shifts overnight from emotional testimony to potential criminal fraud investigation. The media explodes with speculation. Kody's team scrambles to contain the damage. His lawyer warns him, if those accounts trace back to you, this stops being civil. It becomes criminal. Kody slams his fist on the desk. Then we make sure they never find the connection. But someone already has. A mysterious envelope arrives at the courthouse, addressed to the judge. Inside, a single USB drive labeled Brown Family Trust Internal Records. No return address, no fingerprints. The clerk delivers it silently. The judge sets it aside, unaware that the contents of that drive will change everything. The morning of the next hearing feels unnaturally quiet. Rain taps the courthouse windows like a warning. Steady, cold, relentless. Inside, the room hums with anticipation. Word has spread about the mysterious USB. Everyone wants to know what's on it. The judge arrives earlier than usual, his robe flowing like a shadow as he takes his seat. Kody looks tense, his lawyer whispering frantically in his ear. Christine, on the other side, sits perfectly still, like a woman holding her breath. The bailiff steps forward, handing the small drive to the clerk. Your Honor, this was received yesterday evening. No sender, no note. The judge studies it for a moment before nodding. For the record, we'll verify its contents. Both counsels will be present. If it's relevant, we'll proceed. Kody shifts in his seat, his knuckles white. Christine's eyes narrow, reading his fear like a confession. The clerk inserts the drive into a courtroom laptop. The screen flickers to life. A series of folders appears, each labeled with cold precision. Transfers, statements, legal notes, video logs. The judge clicks the first folder. The first file opens, an email chain. It's between Kody and an unknown financial broker. Begin transferring funds from shared accounts to secure private holdings. Do not inform other parties. Code, Family Trust 1. The timestamp is from 2 years before Christine left. Kody's lawyer jumps up instantly. Objection. There's no proof these messages are authentic. But the judge has already leaned forward, reading line after line. Mr. Brown, these communications carry your verified signature ID. How do you explain this? Kody stammers. Those could be fabricated. Anyone could. Christine interrupts softly. He's lying again. The judge raises a hand. Mrs. Brown, you'll have your turn. For now, let's finish reviewing. The next file plays. A short video clip. The camera is shaky, hidden, maybe even recorded in secret. It shows Kody in an office, sitting across from the same man whose emails were on screen. He's wearing casual clothes, his voice low but clear. Make sure the names stay clean. If anyone asks, we'll call it a religious fund. The sound echoes like thunder. Robin gasps, her hands flying to her mouth. Janelle closes her eyes. Mary's jaw drops slightly, tears slipping down her cheek. Kody leaps from his seat, shouting, "That's edited? That's taken out of context." The judge slams his gavel down hard. Order. Mr. Brown, sit down. But the courtroom is already in chaos. Reporters outside can hear the commotion even through closed doors. Cameras click like fire. Christine stares at him. Not with hate this time, but with something heavier. Disbelief. You said it was for the church, Kody? You made us believe. Kody's lawyer begs for a recess, but the judge refuses. We're continuing. This evidence goes to the core of this case. If these records are real, we're looking at willful fraud. Christine's lawyer stands, his tone calm but sharp. Your Honor, this confirms our allegations. Every transaction traced to Mr. Brown's private holdings matches funds from the shared trust. The judge nods. Then, we proceed to verification. Kody looks broken, not angry now, but cornered. You don't understand, he says quietly. It wasn't about greed. It was about survival. The show was ending. The money was disappearing. I had to protect what was left. Christine looks at him, tears streaming now. You were supposed to protect us, not yourself. Robin finally speaks, voice trembling. Kody, tell them the truth. All of it. Please. He shakes his head violently. No. You think this is all black and white? It's not. You want truth? You couldn't handle it if you knew where that money went. The judge frowns. Then enlighten us. Kody hesitates, glances at his lawyer, then finally says it, his voice flat and low. It went to someone in this room. The words slice through the air. Everyone freezes. Christine stares at him, stunned. What are you saying? He looks right at Robin. The entire courtroom shifts, as though gravity itself changed. Robin's eyes widen. Kody? No. Kody continues, his voice cold now. You wanted the truth. There it is. The money didn't disappear into my account. It went into hers. Gasps ripple through the gallery. The judge immediately orders both counsels to approach the bench. Christine's lawyer flips through the USB files frantically, scanning for confirmation. There, under transfers, a document labeled R. Brown Holdings. The account is in Robin's name. Christine's voice trembles, torn between anger and disbelief. Robin? Tell me he's lying. Robin can barely speak. I didn't know. He said it was for taxes. He told me it was temporary. Kody's laugh is bitter. Temporary. You were the only one who knew. You just didn't ask questions. Christine slams her hands on the table. You betrayed all of us. Robin's tears fall fast. No. I trusted him. I loved him. I thought he was protecting the family. The judge calls for silence, his voice stern but shaken. Enough. Mrs. Robin Brown, you will provide a sworn statement before the next session. This court will subpoena the full account records. Robin nods weakly, her hands trembling as she wipes her face. Kody just sits down slowly, like the weight of everything he's built is finally crushing him. Outside, the storm finally breaks. Rain slams against the windows, wind howling down the courthouse steps. Inside, silence sits heavy. Christine watches Robin, a mix of fury and pity in her expression. You were always his favorite, but I never thought you'd be his partner in this. Robin shakes her head, whispering, I didn't know. I swear. Janelle leans close to Christine. She's lying. She always covered for him. Christine exhales, her voice low but full of fire. Then this time, we'll let the evidence speak. The judge announces the next recess. Reporters burst into life the moment the doors open, shouting questions, flashes lighting the hallways. Christine, did you know about the money? Kody, is Robin your accomplice? Robin, did you steal from the family? Christine walks straight past them, silent, while Robin breaks down in the hallway, surrounded by cameras. Kody stands alone by the door, shoulders slumped, eyes hollow. Inside his head, memories flash like broken glass. Laughter at family dinners, children running through the yard, all of them smiling. Then the contracts, the debt, the fear of losing everything. The voice of an old business partner whispering, hide it before they find it. He closes his eyes. That night, Christine receives a call. The number is unknown. She answers cautiously. Mrs. Brown, a voice says, calm and male. You don't know me, but I worked with your husband years ago. The USB wasn't the only copy. There's more you need to see. Meet me tomorrow, 8 a.m., the old Flagstaff diner. Come alone, the call ends. Christine's heart races. She stares at her phone, unsure if it's a trap or a breakthrough. But deep down, she knows. The real truth is still hiding in the shadows. Outside, thunder rolls again, as if the sky itself is warning her. Once you open the next door, there's no going back. The sun hasn't risen yet when Christine pulls into the old Flagstaff diner. The parking lot is half empty, the neon sign flickering weakly through the morning fog. She sits in her car for a moment, staring at her reflection in the rearview mirror. Her eyes look different now. Not the soft, trusting eyes of a wife, but the cold, watchful gaze of a woman who's been betrayed too many times. She exhales and steps out. The air is icy, cutting against her face. Inside, the diner smells of burnt coffee and rain-soaked asphalt. A lone man sits in a booth near the back, his hat pulled low. When she enters, he looks up. Mid-50s, worn suit, tired eyes that have seen too much. He gestures for her to sit. You came alone? He says quietly. Christine nods. You called. Said you had something for me. He slides a small envelope across the table. I used to handle Kody's real estate investments. Until things got complicated. Christine doesn't touch it yet. Complicated how? The man glances around, lowering his voice. There's another account. Offshore. It's not in Kody's name or Robin's, but it's funded with the same trust money. Her pulse quickens. Then whose name is it under? He hesitates, then meets her eyes. Yours. Christine freezes. The world around her seems to tilt. That's impossible. I thought so too. The man continues, pulling out papers from the envelope. But someone forged your signature, created the shell under your name, and used it to move funds. If the authorities see this without context, they'll think you were part of it. Her throat tightens. He's framing me. The man nods grimly. Or covering his tracks. Either way, that account is his safety net, and your noose. Christine's hands tremble as she flips through the documents, her name, her signature, her supposed authorizations. Every page is a lie written in her identity. Why are you showing me this? The man sighs. Because I couldn't carry it anymore. I helped him set it up. I didn't know what he'd do with it. But when I saw what happened in court yesterday, I knew he'd turn on you next. Christine leans forward, voice shaking. Do you have proof it was him? He nods slowly. A recording. It's not much, but it's enough to show who gave the order. He reaches into his jacket and places a flash drive on the table. He made me delete everything else, but I kept this. Christine stares at it like it's alive. If this is real, it could change everything. The man looks at her, pity in his eyes. It could also destroy you both. Once this comes out, the DA will get involved. This won't just be a family case anymore. She nods, tucking the flash drive into her purse. I'm done being afraid. She stands to leave, but the man's voice stops her. Be careful who you trust. You're not the only one he's desperate to silence. Outside, the sun finally breaks through the fog, pale and thin, like a promise that doesn't quite believe in itself. Back at home, Christine watches the video on her laptop. The image is grainy, the audio muffled, but Kody's voice is unmistakable. Make it under her name. If this ever blows up, she'll take the hit. She's already leaving. Might as well let her carry the blame. Christine covers her mouth, tears spilling as she watches him calmly plan her destruction. She whispers to herself, You didn't just take the money, you took my name. Later that afternoon, she meets with her lawyer. We have evidence, she says, sliding the flash drive across the desk. He listens, silent, as she explains everything. When she finishes, he exhales. Christine, this is huge. But if we present this, it escalates fast. Kody could face criminal charges. It'll go beyond family court. Christine nods. Then that's what we'll do. He wanted a war? He just got one. Meanwhile, across town, Kody is losing control. His lawyer is pacing the office, shouting. Why didn't you tell me about the offshore account? Kody's face is pale. Because it doesn't exist. The lawyer slams a folder on the desk. Then explain this. He opens it to reveal a subpoena for international banking records. They know about the account, Kody. If your name's anywhere near it, you're finished. Kody grabs the paper, his mind racing. It wasn't supposed to trace back. Who's it under? He hesitates. Christine. The lawyer freezes. You forged her name? Kody's voice cracks. It wasn't supposed to go this far. It was just insurance. I thought she'd never find out. The lawyer rubs his forehead. You don't need a lawyer anymore, Kody. You need a miracle. That evening, Christine prepares her next move. The next day's hearing will be her turning point. The moment she brings the truth to light. But something inside her is trembling. Not fear, grief. Grief for the years she wasted believing he'd protect her. She calls Janelle. Meet me early at the courthouse tomorrow. I need you with me, Janelle's voice cracks. You've got this, Christine. Just promise me you won't face him alone again. I won't. But even as she says it, a part of her knows this is something only she can do. Night falls over Flagstaff again. Kody sits alone in his dark living room, staring at old family photos, smiling faces, laughter frozen in time. He picks one up, Christine's face framed beside his, and whispers, You were never supposed to turn on me. He sets the photo down and opens a drawer. Inside, a single envelope marked confidential. He pulls it out, hesitates, then burns it over a candle flame. The paper curls, blackens, turns to ash. Morning comes. The courtroom fills again. Cameras outside flash like lightning as Christine walks in with calm determination. Kody's already there, jaw tight, pretending control he doesn't have. The judge enters. We'll resume proceedings. Mrs. Brown, your counsel may begin. Christine's lawyer stands, his voice steady. Your Honor, we have new evidence. A recording that directly implicates Mr. Brown in falsifying financial documents under my client's name. The courtroom erupts. Kody slams his fist on the table. This is a setup. The judge raises his hand. Play the recording. Christine closes her eyes as the screen lights up. Kody's voice fills the room again. Cold, calculating, undeniable. Make it under her name. If this ever blows up, she'll take the hit. The silence after the playback feels eternal. Robin is crying softly. Janelle stares in disbelief. The judge exhales slowly. Mr. Brown, do you deny this voice is yours? Kody's lips tremble. It's been edited. The judge glares. That's your final defense? Kody has no answer. The judge announces a temporary suspension of civil proceedings. The case is now under criminal review. Kody's lawyer looks defeated. Christine sits motionless, her tears silent but fierce. For the first time, she's not crying from pain, but from release. Outside, reporters swarm as she exits. She pauses at the courthouse steps, looks into the cameras, and says softly, For years, I was told to stay silent. Today, silence ends. Her voice echoes like a vow, and somewhere deep inside, beneath all the broken pieces, she feels something she hasn't felt in years. Power. The courtroom adjourns for recess, but the silence in the hall feels louder than thunder. Reporters shout questions, cameras flash, and through it all, Kody walks like a man drowning in his own breath. His face, once proud, untouchable, now looks hollow. The mask is gone. Christine sits in a quiet corner, her hands trembling. The evidence was shown. The recording played. But inside, she feels no victory, only exhaustion. The years, the pain, the endless trying, all of it weighing down on her like a lifetime of ghosts. Janelle finds her, wraps her arms around her. It's over, she whispers. Christine shakes her head slowly. No, it's only beginning. Outside, the world is watching. News tickers spin. Kody Brown under criminal investigation. Fraud allegations emerge. Social media burns with clips from the trial. Every word, every tear, every flicker of Christine's voice is viral. But fame means nothing now. What she wants isn't attention. It's peace. Meanwhile, Kody sits in his lawyer's office, head in his hands. They turned everything I built into a circus, he mutters. His lawyer replies sharply, You did that yourself. Kody slams his hand on the desk. You think I meant for this to happen? I was trying to protect what's mine. The lawyer leans forward. You forged signatures. You stole from your own trust. You lied under oath. What exactly were you protecting? Kody's voice breaks. My family. That night, Kody drives to the old family property. The one where they used to film, laugh, raise their children. The lights are out, the house empty. He steps inside, dust floating like ghosts in the air. In the corner sits a box labeled Memories. He opens it, old letters, photos, tiny handprints in clay. And at the bottom, a letter from Christine, written years ago. He unfolds it slowly. Kody, I loved you long before the cameras, long before the chaos. I believed in what we were building, not for fame, not for faith, but for family. But somewhere along the way, you stopped seeing us as people and started seeing us as proof of your success. I don't want power. I just want peace. Kody's tears hit the paper. He whispers, I ruined everything I ever tried to protect. The next morning, the court reconvenes. Christine stands ready, calm but unflinching. Kody walks in last. No smile, no confidence, just a quiet, tired man. His lawyer leans close. Last chance. You can still fight this. Kody shakes his head. No, I'm done lying. The judge calls the session to order. Mr. Brown, The prosecution intends to pursue charges for financial fraud. Before we proceed, you have the right to speak. Kody stands, eyes red, voice trembling, but clear. Your Honor, and Christine? He pauses, his throat tightening. I did it. All of it. I forged her name. I took what wasn't mine. I wanted control. Not because I didn't love them, but because I didn't know how to love without owning. I thought if I could manage the money, the homes, the image, I could manage the pain. But I only managed to lose everyone. The courtroom goes silent. Reporters stop writing. Cameras lower. Christine's eyes fill with tears, but she doesn't look away. Kody continues, voice breaking. Christine, I hurt you. I broke the trust of every woman who believed in me. I thought I could lead, but all I did was command. I'm sorry. The judge nods slowly. Your confession will be entered into the record. The court will move this case to criminal review. You may step down, Kody sits, burying his face in his hands. He doesn't speak again. After court, Christine walks outside, the sun blazing through the clouds. Reporters swarm her again, shouting questions, but she stops, turns, and says softly, this was never about revenge. It was about truth. And sometimes truth costs everything. But it's still worth it. Her words echo through the crowd. For the first time, she feels the weight lift off her shoulders. Later that night, Christine returns home. The house feels peaceful, quiet, in a way she's never known. She walks to the porch, sits down, and watches the sunset. Her phone buzzes. A message from Janelle. He pleaded guilty. It's done. Christine smiles faintly, whispers to herself, it's really over. She looks out at the horizon, the sky painted in gold and violet. As the final scene fades, the camera lingers on Christine's face, calm, resolute, unbroken. Behind her, the world still spins, still gossips, still burns with noise. But inside her silence, there's peace. And somewhere deep in that silence, the voice that once trembled now whispers one last truth.